G'day everyone. So this is going to be a bit of a long video, but again it's going to be in the same format, which is one take, very few edits. I've got a bunch of Wusthof there from two families. One person dropped them both off. Now they're all in very good condition. I've tested the serrated knives and they're sharp, they don't need anything. But I am going to use, because they're in such good condition, I'm going to use the 400 grit CBN to just take a little lick off the edge and get them perfect. Also, this 400 CBN has got the rounded edge, which is really good for the bolster. Right, the bolster here, because it doesn't dig in. As I come across, it provides a nice radius, and so it doesn't dig in to create a sharp edge. It just beautifully finishes. So that's going to be good fun. So let's get straight into it, eh? I'll be using the KJ45 jig as always, fitted with my version 4 knife handle, which makes it easy to control. If you don't have one, you should get one from sharpen.shop. Link is in the description. Head over there, check it out, and you'll see. You can grab one and I'll send it to you straight away. Now, what angle? I'm going to do these at about 36 degrees or 18 degrees per side. Perfect. Straight into it. See how fast we can get through. How many knives have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and a scissor. That's one job. And over here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and some kitchen shears. Couple more. Nice. I have a burr. Beautiful edge. Finishing up on the 600 grit resin bonded diamond wheel, which is still sharp and doing the job. Some of you who are new to the channel might be wondering, why do I sharpen backwards from the tip to the heel? Aren't I supposed to go from the heel to the tip? No. In my extensive experience, I've discovered that going from the tip to the heel provides fantastic tips that do not have a facet. The problem with going from the heel to the tip are twofold. First of all, when you land on the heel, you have to try and figure out how to land either perfectly straight and then move on, or you generally find that you're digging in and you're causing all sorts of ugliness there. And then by the time you get to the tip, you're not quite sure how much to lift up. Where's the angle? And this is starting to rotate. It's just a nightmare. So I get the tip done first, and in one even smooth stroke, I work my way to the end, pause there for a minute and then lift off, and it creates perfect edges. If you're new to a Tormek, try it. You're going to love it. So let me show you. And this is the sort of tips. See that? Look at that. How is that not perfect? Lovely. Now, this 600 acts more like a 1200 really, and provides and removes a lot of the major burr and just leaves a little tiny burr, so it doesn't need much honing either. So just a light touch, focusing on the apex. Freehand is just fine for this. Check with a fingernail. That feels deadly sharp. Wipe off the wax. The reason I wipe off the wax is obviously because I don't want to deliver the knife with the wax, but also the next stage is to give it a bit of a strop on the kangaroo tail strop. Get this out of the way. My kangaroo tail strop. Kangaroo tail is especially good for stropping. Sadly, you can't get it out of Australia, but I'll try on the soft side first. Just a few gentle strokes to tease out any remaining loose metal or burr that might be hiding in the grinding marks. Ooh. A little bit more. Just lightly, you don't have to go very hard on there. I mean, any leather is really better than no leather, but the kangaroo tail's got its own little abrasives, and oh, look at that. Magnificent. That's what you want. So that is knife number one. We don't want to mix these up, so we're going to do one batch, then another. So let's pull these over here. And the scissor. Leave that over there. Here's the serrated. I always test the serrateds because I charge 25 bucks for these, and if they don't need it, then it saves them money. Nothing wrong with that, I said. Save your money. And I said, oh, that's very nice of you to tell us that honestly. And of course they will remember that, tell their friends. So let's do the carving knife. Oh, check the angle first. Have to drop it down a bit. Nailed it. See how much quicker are the old angle gauges compared to the new KS123, which, I mean, if you love it, then you might as well use it. But I saw no reason to upgrade. I like to stick with things that work. If it works, it works. I probably need about half a dozen strokes per side, so I'll start off with 3 or 4 to bring that bevel down up to the edge, and then I'll go from one side to the other. Even out the bevel if I need to. Got a burr developing on the tip but not on the base, or not on the rest of it. So we'll keep going there. Well, maybe one more on this side. And it's always important to check the bevels, because you don't know how they started. If they started off and you do equal passes per side, then it's just going to stay at that angle. Whereas this side might need more to bring it down. So I start off with a minimum, and then I check the bevels, and my engineering eye tells me whether I can see if they're even or not. Plus, don't forget you've got other variables such as the speed at which you feed and the pressure with which you press. All these make a difference and will adjust the bevel size. So you do a safe number of passes and then you check with your eyes. That cleaver is very convex, so I'm going to do that on the 1x30. Stay tuned for that one. And the scissors I'm also going to do, actually I've already done these when they were here, so you won't see those, but that's all right. I will do the kitchen shears later. It's important to maintain the knife, make sure that it's not wobbly and doing only the edges unless you want to use the corner. Make sure that it sits flat on the wheel. Okay, now I'm nearly there. Nice. Grab the rest, transfer it over to the other machine, because these posts are exactly the same height. The wheels are the same diameter, so it should theoretically give it the same angle, which it does. Better check my microphone's on, which it is. The other day I recorded a nice long video, and during editing I discovered there was no audio because I forgot to switch my microphone on. And that's, you know, pretty upsetting for a couple of minutes before you realise that there's nothing you can do about it. So I took Chili for a walk down to the river, and you guys all saw that short. He's right there. Lying on his magic carpet. It's not important which way you own, tip to heel or heel to tip, because there's no, it's not very grinding. It's just a quick polish. Oh, let me check. Now, if you find that you cannot bring yourself to use a nail to check if there's any burr, then you're in for a long journey into knife sharpening. You're going to have to figure out how to get over your fear, because all the other methods are either inaccurate or take too long. You can try and hang a cotton bud from there, but how do you know you got the whole thing? Whereas this, as horrific as it looks, it's really not. I just used the weight of the knife and no more, and I even lift it up a bit. All I want to do is measure that, is to see if there are any bumps and catches. My nail will tell me. Maybe that's one of the secrets. Where are my tally hose? If I run out, out. Let's see how I went. And trust me, if you are, if you can do that with a cigarette paper, it is as sharp as the sharpest thing on the top shelf at the sharp shop. Seriously, razor sharp. Okay, let's do the, oh, this one's flexible, so I'm going to use the long knife or the flexible knife jig. Sometimes this is too wide, but in this case we've got plenty of room. the knife jig, the Baz knife jig holder handle will fit on both the KJ45 and the 140. In case you're wondering. So grab two of them. They're a little bit cheaper if you grab two than one because they both fit into the same box. You save on shipping. And this wide jig holds the knife stiff like a normal knife, even though it's very flexible. You might think that 36 is a bit extreme, but it's not. When you look at the edge, you just know that it looks correct. It's not too enormous, and it's not too tiny. It's just perfect. With the added benefit that it will last the owner a lot longer. Sure, I could bring it down to 30 degrees and it would be very, very, very sharp in the beginning, but it'll get blunt very quickly. Nearly there. Done. Couple of passes here, don't need many. Beautiful. Now you tell me, this is 36 degrees, 18 degrees per side. Doesn't that just look correct? That just looks right to me. Some blow-ins will pick apart my technique. They'll say you need to guide your honing. No, you don't. You can, but you don't have to. And when you're stropping, you're rolling the edge. Oh, come on, man. That's just nonsense. If a knife can be rolled just by running it on some leather lightly, then how's it going to perform when it's actually cutting? It's going to roll straight away. I don't believe it. Could be wrong. But look at these results. You calling that wrong? Not you. You're cool. Others. All right. Now, here's over here. Big chef knife. Carving. Utility. Pairing. Nailed it. You've noticed my carburetors are off the motorbike again. I found a heap of sand in my petrol filter, or gas filter if you're from America. Fuel filter. So I had to pull the carburetors off to make sure they were clean, and they were. Perfect. See how the handle keeps everything stable, stops it from rocking, gives you a good hold and a clamping force from the back, which you don't get with the standard handles. So I wish, for those of you, if you're doubting whether you need one of these, I wish I could just give you a try so you could see straight away the difference, because there is a difference. And if you read my comments, you'll see that there are people who leave a comment unsolicited saying, man, straight away I noticed a huge difference. Nice. A bit steamy today, a bit humid. Silky smooth. Lately I've been wondering, I get really good results on the serrated knives if I polish them on my polish wheels, which I use for stainless polishing on the motorbike. And they slice through paper like nobody's business. And I wonder what would happen if I did it to a normal knife. Now, I'm not willing to gamble on a customer's knives, but I've got some knives that I might try. Some time ago I bought an entire knife roll off a retired chef. Some weird European knives in there. I've been meaning to make a video about it, but you know. A little bit noisy. I'll give it a few more passes. It's better to under strop than over strop, I think. And that's what the cigarette paper's for. If you're not in Australia, we have Tally-Ho. Tally-Ho is made by Rizla. But if you're in America or Europe, Rizla Green is the equivalent. Let's have a look. Ah, much better. Much better. Beautiful. Now, while I've got the rest up high, they did bring a fairly ordinary Wilkinson sword knife to be sharpened as well. So I might as well do that at this setting. The shorter the knife, or the narrower the knife, the lower the rest has to go in order to get the angle. Now this, you'll notice, has a primary bevel. And so where do you measure? Do you measure off the main blade, or do you measure off the primary bevel? My thinking is that the angles are in relation to the next bit of metal. So I always run my angles off of the primary bevel. I don't go to the main part of the knife, I go to the primary bevel, because that is the next part of the knife. Could be wrong, could be right, could be black, could be white. And I really like the look of this bevel. And so will you. I'll bring it over to the camera in a minute and you can have a look and you'll see that it just looks correct. So this 400 grit CBN seems to be doing the job on the knives that are in good condition. I just need a quick lick. Which reminds me of a dessert my grandma used to make and a party I went to in the 80s. Got a burr. Don't need any more. One more. Now the steel on this is questionable, but you will see that using the same techniques as I use on the on a high quality knife, I get the same results. But will it last as long? Probably not. But then I think back to our mums. How often did our mothers get their knives sharpened by a professional sharpener? About never. And yet we managed, didn't we? We got on using a pull through to get some sort of an edge, good enough, no honing, no nothing. If we were lucky, our fathers would know how to use a stone and would sharpen our knives in the shed against the stone. But that was pretty rare. None of my uncles or anything like that ever used those methods. Although I did have an uncle once that had a food manufacturing facility, so I'm presuming that he used some sort of better, superior technique at sharpening. But our mothers and grandmas, they just got down to the job. Nice. Now you tell me whether or not this bevel looks correct. Doesn't that look proper? That looks correct to me. Doesn't look too big. Oh, where's Mr. Chili? There he is. Hello. How are you, Mr. Chili? You look a bit like a lion there, don't you? Huh. He's probably eaten too many. What? I know that's a very crunchy sound in your headphones, but here's what it is. Am I a filmmaker or am I a knife sharpener? I can be both. Nice. Put that away. Now what have we got left? We've got this carving knife. Now what might be interesting to you, I didn't know this. The difference between a carving knife and a chef knife is they're both the same height, but this is narrower. That's the only difference. To get into the lamb joints and the joints, carving, don't know. I think that's the difference. Now, are we flexible? Sort of. No harm in using the long knife jig. No harm at all. Hello, Mr. Chili's back. Just happens to be the same angle as that one over there. Nice. Once you've established the burr, there's no harm in just giving it one more on each side, just to give it the Irish, you know? To be sure, to be sure, to be sure. Oh, I don't have to wipe it because I'm going onto here. For those of you who are still using stone wheels, I still sell these 80 and 320 grit, how do I call them? Grading plates. They're actually sharpening plates. You can use them for sharpening knives. That's what they're sold as, but I use them for grading the stone wheels. And there's nothing wrong with an SG wheel, nothing wrong with an SB wheel. They're both fantastic wheels. I've used them extensively. I'm very happy with them. Nice. Normally when you're not here, I'm standing in front and I'm doing it like this. But because you're here, I'm coming off to the side a little bit. So you can see me doing it. If you can get those results, you're a premium sharpener. And you should not be very cheap. The cheap guys are cheap for a reason. You want premium sharpening, you tell them that you remove minimal, if any, metal. Because sometimes, let's say they bring you a dull knife, it's rounded at the top. That very peak can still remain there, even while you adjust the bevels to come and meet at the top. So very minimal, maybe a couple of little tenths off the top. So minimal material is removed. Okay. Next, utility. This won't take long. Starting to get hot in here now. Love the way that this rounded edge is finishing up against the bolster. Just beautiful, beautiful work. Now some of you may know that Wusthof will sharpen your knives for free if you send them back to them. But you're going to wait for 3 months for that. Or 1 month. Certainly won't be 1 week, I'll guarantee you that. And I know that because I've had customers send their knives into Wusthof and actually got them back very poorly sharpened. Wusthof, lift your game. I don't know if they got a new sharpener or somebody was just put in the position and said, right, this week you're a sharpener. I'd love to become the agent for Wusthof sharpening. Wouldn't that be good? And global. Imagine being listed on their websites as the official sharpener. That'd be worth investigating, wouldn't it? You reckon I'd qualify? And when Tormek is instructing us on their website, they have those really long live sessions. They were discussing how long you should spend honing, and I don't even know why that was a discussion. What's the amount of time got to do with it? You hone to a result. And they said you should spend as much time honing as you do grinding. No, that's not correct at all. One has nothing to do with the other. Right. And look, I don't think that they're trying to lead you astray. I just think that I've sharpened more knives than they have. It's entirely possible. In fact, it's highly likely. Beautiful. And lastly, paring knife, or second to last, and then I'll finish off with those scissors. I'll show you how I do those on the 1x30 over here. In fact, they're a little bit tricky because they don't open up very wide, so I'm going to have to make sure that I get the right angles over there. Nice. Now those of you who are in the knife sharpening business might be wondering whether a Tormek is too slow to make a living. Well, I've just finished how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9 knives, and I'm about to do a scissor in about an hour. I charge 20 bucks a knife, a little bit more for scissors, a little bit more for serrated, but I didn't do any serrated in this case because they didn't need it, so I'm saving them money. So you do the maths on that, and is that enough of a rate per hour? Customer's happy. I got great knives back, sharper than the sharpest thing. Yes, they are paying a premium. There are cheaper sharpeners. I'm not concerned with who's cheaper than me. I'm trying to be the best that I can be. Ooh, there's a rhyme. Good job, Baz. Now, so these only open up to that much. So can I get them in there? Yes, I can. Let's do a test first. We'll try on some material, even though these are cooking scissors. Oh, not too bad. Ashley? Oh no, I've got folding. So, now the trick is to use a marker and mark the bevel so you know whether you're on the right angle or not. Very important. You don't want to alter the angle. I won't be able to get up in there, but... And I do these on rough paper. This is the 120 grit. I think these are Cubitron from Cliff Curry. That's where I get all my belts from. I'm going to bring you over. Oh, where's Mr. Chili? There he is. Hello, Mr. Chili. Hello. Yep. G'day. So now these are quite leaned over, so I'm going to look at that. Not bad. I must have a natural gift. I have a bit of a burr, but not a full complete burr. Now I do. Perfect. In one pass. This is that pass. Right, and I don't know if you can see it. I've got a burr. I can feel it with my fingertip. So that's it, done. No more needed. Just close the scissor. And they're gone. Sounds really good too. Let's see if it cuts material. Beautifully. Let's see if it cuts microfiber. Lovely. Both directions. That'll cut food for sure. I've got some more material, stand by. Let's have a look at the canvas. Straight into it. What about across the hem? Oh, that is hem's worth. Nice. Some material, some denim-y style blind material. Pushes a little bit. Still cuts. Nice. Well, I'm happy with that. Job done. They're all slicey smooth. Hey, thanks for watching, and I suspect that I'm going to see you in the next movie. If not, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, because even though I've got 77,000 subscribers, only about 1,000 of you rock up, which is a mystery to me, but I still love you all. that's it. It's my WustoFEST, and see you in the next movie. Thank you for all your support. You're buying lots of food for Chile. You're supporting me by buying the knife jig holders. These are great. And the Australians are buying kangaroo tails. I've nearly sold out of those, but I've still got some fantastic ones left. They were all very big this year, or this last sale. They're hard to find, but when I find them, I'll buy batches and move them on to you guys. But I'm thinking of starting up a little membership, YouTube membership, so you can help support the channel if that's what you want to do, with some perks like a discount maybe over at the store, and access to live sessions if you want to delve in a bit deeper and ask me questions while I'm sharpening live. So you'll hear about that if that happens, and I'll see you in the next movie.